What is up guys, it's your boy Solheim here, back with another World of Warcraft video for the War Within, and today we are talking about how I am personally making gold right now in the pre-patch for the War Within. Now, I've been focusing a lot on beta videos on this channel, as I will be doing for the future as well. I'm making profession guides and guides for the War Within from the beta perspective, but I also want to talk about how I'm making gold right now, because for a bunch of people, you're coming back for the War Within, but you're joining late in Dragonflight, and maybe you want to start making gold now, because let's be real, you can, and some of these methods will be a little bit gated to people that haven't played for a while, but thankfully we have the concentration system that now allows pretty much anyone to make gold with the crafts we already have. So today I'll be talking a lot about professions and how I'm using these to make gold in the War Within's pre-patch as of right now, so let's get into it. Now before that though, if you want to know more about how to make gold in the War Within, check out my Goldmaking Guide for the War Within, which is a guide that I've made from scratch talking about gold farms, how to make gold with professions, so it covers both crafting and farming in the War Within. When you buy the guide, you also get access to my Dragonflight Goldmaking Guide for free, allowing you to use that one to make gold until the launch of the War Within. You also get access to a private goldmaking community where I will give you guys early access to videos, think about videos like this, but in the War Within, where I'm talking about exactly what I'm doing to make gold, and even gold farms. You will get access to them before they go public. Check it out, the link to the guide will be down below, and you can get it for half price by using the code Solheim. Either way, let's get into some crafts that I'm personally doing, and number one is something I've talked about a lot for the War Within. It's cooldown crafting. Now for this, I'm still doing my Azure Weaves and Chronocloth crafting, and as you can see, we just today got all 30 crafts back, and I just want to show you guys how much gold I make from this. When I get all 30 crafts, per craft, if I go to TSM, you can see the crafting cost. So going down to Azure Weave, for example, the crafting cost is 161 gold, and my estimated profits are 208. Now that is based on the current selling price. So as you can see, 208 gold profit for this craft, and 161 gold crafting cost, because they sell it for 388 gold on my auction house. That being said, if I use craft sim for example, that would sim in my multi-craft, resourcefulness, and I end up making a lot more gold than just that amount. But even if we go back to TSM and you use the 208 gold as the profit margin here, that is about 6,000 gold for those 30 craft, which is definitely not bad, and another 3,000 gold from the Chronocloth as well. So that is 9,000 gold right there. Once again, I have 10 tailors set up, so that is 90,000 gold from a cooldown craft that you can do pretty much on a daily basis, but you don't get all 30 crafts back on a daily basis. It's more like, it's definitely not 30, it takes several days to get all 30 crafts back, and for me, I pretty much check this twice per week, how many crafts I have, and then I just bang them all out. Now, this method of making gold will definitely be gated a little bit to people that have been playing Dragonflight so far. That being said, all it requires is you putting some skill points into Draconic Needlework, for example, then choosing exactly where you want to go when it comes to spending your knowledge points. Now, apart from that, the quality here doesn't really matter. So for me, I don't really spend my ingenuity here. Like if we search up Azure Weave Bolt, you can see the difference in price, and it's pretty much non-existent. Yeah, you can see quality 2 is selling for 388, and quality 3 is 393. It's a 5 gold difference. That being said, quality 3 tends to sell faster than quality 2, because people can use quality 3 to get a higher quality of whatever craft they are doing. Now, when it comes to me and my Azure Weave bolts, I usually use them to make bags, and for this one you're gonna have to check your server to see exactly how profitable it is for you, but I use them to make bags. So going down here, for example, we can go down to bags, and Azure Weave Expedition packs on my server. If I just search up Azure Weave Expedition pack, they go for 3,500 gold, and the only thing of cost when it comes to these for me is 3 bolts, so I can turn 3 bolts into over 3,000 gold. That is an estimated value of 1,000 gold per bolt. Over 1,000 gold per bolt, and then you also need some spools, but they are so cheap anyway, and they're literally close to vendor price. They're 59 silver per spool, so like that crafting cost is absolutely nothing, and I turn those into bags and I sell those on the auction house. The thing about bags is that they are, first of all, we've been doing a really good job on my server to keep the prices high, but there's such a big demand for them. People are joining for the War Within right now, and what do they need when they join now? They need bags. They want to get the biggest bags they can. Look at my bags, for example. I haven't even upgraded my bags in several expansions. We're sitting here with netherweave bags out of everything. Like, we have netherweave bag instead of azure weave bag. Granted, this is my alt number 32 or something, so like, I don't really care. All I do here is doing my cooldown crafting anyway. But people coming back, they will want these bags. It's a 34 slot bag. So when it comes to what people want when they rejoin the expansion, maybe they haven't even played Dragonflight, they're only here to get ready for the War Within, bags is a bigger priority. So sell bags. Check your server, check the price. If it's as expensive as on mine, that is a huge profit margin. I can even buy HV bolts and make them into bags. That being said, we have 10 tailors set up for the bolt making, so I just send those bolts to myself and then I make bags. Now, when it comes to bags, I have a specific character set up for crafting bags as well, where all of my tools are specced into resourcefulness, because as you can see, the only stat that matters for bag crafting is resourcefulness. You can never proc 2 bags, for example. So you make the bags, you spec into resourcefulness, and then you have talent, or not talent, but profession tools and accessories, also giving you more resourcefulness to then save gold when making bags. At the moment we have 18% resourcefulness on this character, but I'm up to about 30% on my bag crafting character, so resourcefulness is a big deal for crafting bags, but even without that, the profit margins for me specifically is just so massive. That being said, if making bags isn't worth it for you, then just sell the bolts on the auction house. Now, as you can see, both for the bolt crafting and the bag crafting and tailoring, I don't use my concentration, because it's not really worth it. Like, quality 2 and quality 3, they're the same price for the bolts, even though quality 3 sells more often. What I spend my concentration on is temporal spell threads, and the reasoning why is that when you make them at quality 2, they're not even profitable. They require 1 chrono cloth to make, so that's 400 gold. 2 of these, which are 148 gold each, so now it's 600 gold. And then 1 of these, which is 20 gold. So about a 600 gold crafting price, and quality 2 is 33 gold. But quality 3 is 850, and that is on my server. The region market value average is 1.5, and this is something you can pretty much bang out, but the less skill you have, the more concentration you have to spend, and for me I have barely any skill, so I have to spend 470 concentration on this craft to get about 1000 gold profit. It really depends, like multicraft proc, resourcefulness, that really plays a huge part here, so when you get those multicraft procs, they really help out. And once again, I have a separate tailor set up for crafting these spell threads more effectively, but I want to spend my concentration on all of my tailors, and for bag crafting there's no concentration to be spent, and for everything else, like for example toys making as well, most of them it doesn't really matter. The banners you can make and then maybe sell the banners as well, like these banners right here could be worth selling, and they're actually selling for a lot, so maybe look into making these banners, but they're usually used for farming, and not a lot of people are out there farming, but the banners can also be worth looking into. But for me, once again, I use my concentration here on spell threads, even though it costs a lot, just to get some gold back. Might as well use it. Now, while we're on the topic of tailoring, there is one more thing that I want to draw your attention to, which I pretty much already did by scrolling down here, but I'm making toys, and the reason why is that the profit margins are huge, and even though they sell kinda slow, the profit margin is once again huge. So duck stuffed toy, duck lovey over here, that's a toy. For me, this one is selling for 10,000 gold on the auction house, and let's just use TSM here, it's way more clean and easier to follow, so dragging this one down, we can go down to the toys area, and yeah, you can see duck stuffed, duck lovey, we get 9.2k profit from. Forlorn Funeral Pal, this is a recipe you have to buy, by the way. This one, 6.5k profit. Dragon Scale Expedition, Expedition's Tent, 4.4k profit, and Cold Cushion, 10,000 gold profit. Once again, these are toys, they are gathered by people that are collecting, so they will sell way less. But when you make a sale, that is so much gold. So for me, I always try to have at least 5 of these on the auction house pretty much at all times, just because why not? There's like no downside. The crafting cost as well, as you can see, is 37 gold for the duck stuffed toy right here. Forlorn Funeral Pal, 150 gold for example, crafting cost, and this one is 3,000 gold. Crafting costs. That's a little bit different, but it uses a material that is really hard to farm. And then we have the Cold Cushion, which is also 230 gold, crafting cost as well. So for the most part, they're just so cheap to make, and the potential upside is absolutely huge, even though one thing here is that you have to check your server's price, because for this one, for example, my server is 9.8, but the region market value average is only 2,000, so it will really vary from server to server. But for me, a lot though is making bags. I am making so much gold from making bags, it is absolutely ridiculous. So check the price of bags on your server. They are really worth looking into. Now, while we're on the topic of using concentration to make gold in the pre-patch, this is the profession that I'm personally making the most gold with my daily concentration on, and that is enchanting. Enchanting has a huge difference in price between quality 1, quality 2, and quality 3 enchants, and I specifically focus on weapon enchants. Now, you can do pretty much any enchants out there, but the reason why this works is that people are currently doing raids, Mythic Plus dungeons, and even doing the pre-patch event, right? And they're looking to try to gear up before the War Within, to give themselves a little bit of a head start into the new expansion, and when they get a really good gear piece, they're also trying to get that enchanted with the best enchant that they can. So for me, if you take a look here, we have TSM open on the right side and we have the auction house on the left side, and I just want to make some comparisons. Looking at Burning Devotion, for example, take a look at quality 2, that is 30 gold on the auction house. That being said, it's a 350 gold crafting cost, right, for Burning Devotion. 30 gold for quality 2, that is a massive loss right there, but when you guarantee quality 3, that is 2,300 gold, that is 1,900 gold profit, and for me, that is 200 concentration. So for me, I can apply my concentration here, make this enchant, and make about 1,900 gold. That is also not proccing any resourcefulness or anything like that, so when I save reagents, we make even more gold on this one. Enchanting is absolutely huge. That was only one example, so let's go scroll down once again, take a look at another one. We have, for example, Earthen Devotion, might not be the best one, but Earthen Devotion, 350 gold, and scrolling down here, 2.8. So that is 2,500 gold in difference, and once again, Earthen Devotion, same thing, 211 concentration, and I'm gonna get that much profit. Like, once again, that is about 2,300 gold, or 2,500 gold actually, that you get for 211 concentration, and concentration is once again a limited resource that there's no point in not spending. All of mine recharged today, so I'm going to spend all of them, but I wanted to make a video about exactly what I spend them on before I do so. So as you can see here, we have 1,000 out of 1,000, that is almost 5 crafts, which is about 10,000 gold. That is 10,000 gold, almost 12,000 gold, only with enchanting, and that is by having one enchanter. And yeah, I only have one enchanter, by the way. I only had one person spec'd into enchanting for Dragonflight, because there was no real reason to have several of them. That being said, for the War Within, based on, you can see it right here, the difference between quality 2 and quality 3 is absolutely massive. So for the War Within as well, you could make a really big argument for having several enchanters set up to guarantee quality 3 enchants, especially early. Like, when people can't get quality 3 enchants, you can only get quality 2, but you can spend your concentration to guarantee a quality 3. They are going to be so expensive. So for me, that's a really good way to spend my concentration. It is the profession that I'm spending, or like that I'm making the most gold with for my concentration. That's enchanting. Now, real quick before I stop talking about enchanting, I just want to make it super clear that the ones I'm focusing on are the expensive ones. So once again, that is Wafting Devotion, Burning Devotion, Frozen Devotion, Earthen Devotion, Dreaming Devotion, and Sophic Devotion. Those are the ones that I'm focusing on. You can even do a Dreaming Devotion quality 2, but yeah, do the devotion crafts and you will be fine. And once again, get them at quality 3, because quality 2 is just such a massive loss, so only make them when you have concentration to spend and get some juicy gold. Now, that's primarily how I make gold right now. It is heavily centered around tailoring plus enchanting. I do make a little bit of gold through alchemy as well, like for example transmutes are still pretty good, and also I have one alchemist spec'd into flask crafting and one into potion crafting, but I will say right now that's not a very lucrative market, but every now and then it can be. It really just depends, but it's selling in huge quantities, so you might not make a bunch of gold per sale, but the quantities you're selling, it really starts adding up. And when it comes to spending your concentration, pretty much anything can be profitable when it comes to concentration. You're going from crafting quality 2 to guaranteeing quality 3, so if you have jewel crafting for example, make gems and sell the gems. You just pick the highest gems based on the stats that people want to have, and guaranteeing those at quality 3 are pretty much always a profit as well. Once again, depends a little bit on when you are selling them and also when you buy the materials you're buying. There's a bunch of flipping going around, so don't buy overpriced materials, but for the most part, making gems at quality 3 can be really profitable. And then enchants at quality 3 as well, pretty good right there. And using something like engineering or even inscription to make materials at quality 3 is also pretty good. Inscription for example has some baseline profitable crafts that you can make gold with on baseline, and then using multi-craft you can get even more profit from that as well. Either way, gold making in Dragonflight definitely still possible, and you can make a bunch of gold without going out there and farming. Just crafting to make some gold, going into the War Within with way more gold than you otherwise would, and I just wanted to update you guys on exactly what I'm doing to make a little bit of gold in the pre-patch. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like down below, and let me know how you're making gold in the pre-patch as well. I'm gonna have a couple of other videos coming out about this, because this one primarily focused on professions in the pre-patch. We have some vendor flips that you can make in the pre-patch as well. Like this one centered on professions. You can literally buy items from the vendor and post them on the auction house and get rich that way, which I'm hopefully gonna have a video on very soon as well. Either way, once again, if you enjoyed it, leave a like down below and let me know how you're making gold in the comments. Thank you for watching, I really do appreciate it, and I'll see you again in the next video very soon.